Ladies and gentlemen, let us be seated and maintain decorum for this event, as very soon, in few seconds, we shall be ushering in the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the National Chairman of this institution of the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers, and then we commence the event. Please, can we be upstanding as we welcome the arrival of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntala, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are very, very much welcome, ma'am. The national anthem. Together we shall recite the third stanza of the national anthem as the opening prayer. Together we pray, O God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. Thank you very much. Let us have our seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed engineers, professionals, and members of the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers, I welcome every one of you to the 2024 Conference and Annual General Meeting and Fourth Fellowship Conferment Ceremony of this great institution. You will agree with me that the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers is proud to host this very event. And together with professionals, policymakers, and stakeholders dedicated to advancing Nigeria's transportation and highways infrastructure. This year's theme, Rural Road Infrastructure, Catalyst and Panacea and Cornerstone of Food Security, underscores the vital role rural roads play in enhancing agricultural productivity, ensuring food distribution, and fostering national development. The conference will provide a platform for thought leadership, innovative solutions, and collaborative discussions aimed at addressing the challenges and opportunities in developing sustainable rural road networks. So I enjoin every one of you to join us at this event as we equally celebrate the achievements of distinguished members of these institutions who will be elevated to the fellowship cadre of this great institution. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege to now introduce members and dignitaries that are at this event. And first on the list is the 34th president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the first female president in our esteemed society's 66-year history. Please make welcome the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Oguntala, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Also here present is the Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our amiable Engineer Ali Alimasuya Rabiu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, member of the Order of the Federal Republic. Let's put our hands together for him. He is the Shigari of Lafia as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we also recognize and welcome to this event our host chairman, the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers, Engineer Seidu Hassan, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of this great institution. We have also here present a Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers who is in charge of engineering technology and innovations management, Engineer Joseph Sunday Adebayo, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome. We have also here our special guest at this event, the Chairman House Committee on FEMA, Engineer Remi Oseni, representing Ido Ibarakpa Federal Constituency. He is here represented by Olamijunwolo Ayodeji Alao Akala, representing Ogbomoso North and South, and Oriire Federal Constituency. He is the Chairman House Committee on Youth in Parliament. Let's put our hands together for him. You are welcome. We have also here present and already seated the keynote speaker at this event. Please put your hands together for the National Coordinator RAMP, Engineer Mohammed A. Bodinga, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. We have seated here also the President of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, Engineer Dr. Adebisi Osim, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome, ma'am. We have also here present the pioneer national chairman of this great institution, Engineer Isa Imawabinu, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are very, very welcome. We have also international delegates who have been with Madam President throughout the conference period, and they have equally graced this occasion. Permit me to welcome to this event the President of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Kwabena Bempong. Let's make him welcome. We have also President-elect of Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Ludwig A. Hasse. You are welcome. Okay, I've not seen the Executive Director. All right. We have also the President of the Sierra Leone Institution of Engineers here present, Engineer Oba Jones. You are welcome. And from Kenya, we have the President, Engineer Munyoki Shama Kiteme, President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I hope I've not missed anyone out. Okay. We have also here present Vice President of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Sophia A. Tijani. You are very, very welcome. May I also recognize the Chairman Planning Committee of this year's conference for the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. We can equally qualify him to be an international delegate because he's everywhere on the international scene. Engineer Dr. Bola Mudashiru, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I equally recognize the Deputy National Chairman, Engineer Francis Oriki, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, and the immediate past National Chairman, Engineer George Unsonwu, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. May I request all the distinguished members to be conferred fellowship at this event to please stand up for recognition. Stand up for recognition. We welcome you. We welcome you. It's a great feat that you have achieved. You are welcome, and you can have your seat. Also, all the members of this great institution will welcome you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the media, and the Federal Road Safety Commission's band. I don't know you people can also sing. I think you only disturb us on the road. You are very much welcome. Please mark my face and tell your colleagues, nobody should stop me. Please, I welcome every one of you to this event. And without taking much of your time, we will continue to the activities of the day. It is fully packed. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite for his welcome address the chairman of the Conference Planning Committee, Engineer Dr. Mudashiru Bola, FNSC. Let's put our hands together for him as he comes to address us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. With the permission of Madam President Ma and the permission of the National Chairman of the Institute, please, and every other dignitary seated here, please permit me to write on the existing well-established protocol. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, I am pleased to formally welcome you to our 2024 Annual International Conference and Annual General Meeting today, Friday, 22nd, 2024 of November at the Nigerian Society of Engineers headquarters. Today, we gather under the theme of rural road infrastructure, catalyst, panacea, and cornerstone food security, emphasizing the vital role of rural road infrastructure in Nigeria's food security and economic development. Our keynote speaker, Engineer Mohammed Aminu Bodinga, FNSC, FNITE, our national coordinator of the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing, our project, in parentheses RAMP, will share valuable insights into this critical topic. I extend special recognition to our national chairman, Engineer Saidu Hassan, FNSC FNITE, executive members, conference planning committee, members, fellows, distinguished engineers, stakeholders, press and news media, and other participants who have joined us today, inclusive of all our international delegates. My good friends are also very much from the International Forum. At NITE, our vision is to advance the science and practice of highway and transportation engineering in Nigeria. And our mission is to promote excellence, innovation, and professionalism among our members. This conference is a testament to our commitment to these values. Throughout this conference, we will explore the latest developments, challenges, and opportunities in rural road infrastructure. We will share knowledge, experiences, and best practices, fostering collaboration and networking among participants. I invite you to actively engage in the discussions, share your expertise, and learn from others. Together, let's work towards improving Nigeria's rural road infrastructure and contributing to the country's food security and economic growth. Thank you for your presence, and I wish you a productive and enriching conference experience. I graciously welcome you. God bless NITE. God bless Nigeria Society of Engineers. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Bola Mudashiru, FNSC. After laying the foundation, I was feeling I had some observation under the structure. So may I be permitted to do an underpinning? Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to this event also one of the past vice presidents of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, past registrar of Koren, past ES of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Felix Atumi, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, member of the National Institute. You are welcome, sir. May I now invite for the opening address the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers. Please put your hands together for Engineer Saidu Hassan, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers.
Good afternoon, all of us. The President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Madam Margaret Aina Oguntola, our Amazon of engineers in Nigeria, if I'm permitted to use that name, Ma, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stand with the existing protocol so that we can fast track the activities of this ceremony. I want to also recognize the presence of the Chairman House Committee on FEMA, Honorable Hussaini, by the Chairman House Committee on Youth to this our event. And all our international delegates, you are welcome. We thank you. We are happy that you are here with us, and we share our common goal and objective together to make Africa one of the greatest engineering hub. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of our members who contributed significantly to the advancement of highway and transportation engineering in Nigeria. Our institution has made tremendous progress in promoting excellent innovation and professionalism among our members. We have established multiple chapters across Nigeria, demonstrating our commitment to national coverage and representation. We are also excited to announce plans to establish new chapters in the coming year to further expand our reach and strengthen our presence across Nigeria. As a professional institution, United play a vital role in nation building. We are committed to supporting Nigerian economic growth and development through our expertise in highway and transportation engineering, with the support of our main body, the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Our mission aligns with the Nigerian Society of Engineers and has strategic vision. NITE is committed to one, road sector reform. In Nigeria, highway and transportation engineering play a vital role to economic development, social progress, and national integration. Our roads, highway, and transportation system are the arteries of our economy, facilitating the movement of goods, services, and people. However, we face significant challenges, including inadequate funding and resources, outdated technology and infrastructure, insufficient skilled personnel, and inadequate maintenance and management. We advocate for a comprehensive review of the road sector to address issues such as funding, regulation, and maintenance. We seek your unalloyed support to help us push for presidential assent on road reform bill that was passed by the 8th and the 9th Assembly, and also currently being reviewed by the current Assembly. Advocating for policy promotion, promoting safe, efficient transportation system, providing training and development opportunity, and fostering collaboration among members and stakeholders. Before I conclude, I would like to express my gratitude to our keynote speaker, Engineer Mohammed Aminu Bodinga, FNSC, National Coordinator of Road and Rural Agricultural Marketing Program, of sharing his values and insight with us on rural infrastructure, catalyst, financier, and cornerstone of food security. This topic is up, and it will bring to fore the importance of rural transportation to nation food security, which happened to be the 2024 theme of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Annual Conference. Thank you for your presence. I wish you a wonderful and fruitful conference experience. Welcome to NITE 2024 Annual General Meeting. Thank you.
Fellows, you are not clapping. He will confer you fellowship very soon. Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much. And to our online participants, you are very, very much welcome as you enjoy yourselves wherever you are watching us live at this event. Ladies and gentlemen, she is known for her agenda to foster growth, empowerment, and advancement of the engineering profession with 5 strategic agendas of 1, membership development, intergovernmental industry academia collaborations, international relations, community impact, and the 5th one, NSE reimaging. And I'm very sure there is no member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers as at this time that would say he or she is not getting information or feeling the vibes of NSE online. If you are here, can I see your hands? No one. She is the 34th president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and in our esteemed society's 66-year history, she is the first female president. Please, can we invite to the podium as she opens this event and gives us her remark, the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala. If I were you, I would be standing. We'll give her a standing ovation.
Please be seated. Thank you. The Deputy President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, MFR, Vice President, Engineer Joseph Sunday Adebayo, FNSC, our very esteemed special guest of the event, the Chairman House Committee on FEMA, who is ably represented by Honorable Olamijuwonlo Ayodeji Alao Akala, the Chairman House Committee on Youth. You're very welcome, sir. Our international delegates who have been here since Sunday and are still so interested in what we are doing because of the collaboration, the very strong collaboration that we have, the ties that we have with them. Thank you very much for being here again today. Please give them a very good round of applause. The National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, Engineer Saidu Hassan, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, very distinguished fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers present, esteemed guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here again to flag open another event of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. Just about 4 weeks ago or less, I was here to declare open a training workshop on road and bridge construction. In fact, construction and maintenance of roads and bridges. It was a 3-day training workshop, well attended, and also, very importantly, done in collaboration with international organizations, 2 international organizations. And that aligns perfectly with the set objectives of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and the strategic agenda of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. This division has continuously provided platforms for members to grow professionally and even socially. And I must commend the leadership of the institution led by Engineer Saidu Hassan himself. On Wednesday, Engineer Saidu Hassan FNSC was a recipient of the esteemed Presidential Merit Award. And that is because of the role that he's playing. Thank you. I think he really deserves that. And that's due to the role that he plays in ensuring that the institution is well represented in all NSA activities. This institution is responsive to calls for paper, for position papers, for representation at events, and so on. I was just telling the Deputy President this morning that I could just call him within 1 hour. He would be in my office. If I needed advice, I'm a chemical engineer, so I don't have the expertise or knowledge of highway and transportation engineering. But if I called him, he would answer immediately. And then let me also extend that appreciation to the pioneer chairman, national chairman of the institution, Engineer Issa Imoabino, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. I remember that one day I had to call him to represent us on a discussion on NTA in Kaduna, on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. And he did a great job. People called me to say, yes, they do know, and they agree and believe that Nigerian engineers are experts in their fields. Today, we flag off the conference of the institution with the theme Rural Road Infrastructure, Catalyst, Panacea, and Cornerstone of Food Security. And I want to commend the institution again because this theme also aligns with the 2024 International Engineering Conference, which was concluded earlier this morning, with the theme Sustainable Engineering Solutions to Food Security and Climate Change. And one of the recommendations or outcomes of that conference was the fact that government should be deliberate in its effort to fund the construction and maintenance of rural roads to ensure ease of transportation of agricultural produce. We all know what happens when transportation is not made easy. We have losses due to poor transportation systems, and unless government does something very drastic about that, we will continue to have food insecurity. So I commend the institution for coming up with this theme, and I'm sure that you have experts who will delve into the matter, into the theme, into the subject, and then also come up with recommendations which can be escalated to the authorities that are concerned in ensuring construction and maintenance of rural road infrastructure. So on this note, I'd like to again congratulate the institution, and I pray that you have very fruitful deliberations. And I also expect that at the end of the conference, you would immediately submit the communique. And I'm sure that you will do that. You've always done that. I mean, kudos to your leadership for that. So, having said that, I have the pleasure and singular honor of declaring the 2024 conference and AGM of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you all. We may now have our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to that point where we get to exchange and share knowledge and equally listen to a very wonderful lecture that will be presented by one of the stakeholders in this field of food security and on rural roads. May we now continue to the program as I invite the keynote speaker for our lecture presentation. Please make welcome to the podium Engineer Mohammed A. Bodinga, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, Fellow Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers. He is the National Coordinator of the RAMP program. Let's put our hands together for him. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Let me build on the existing protocol, but I think it's worthy to mention Madam President, our President, Engineer Margaret Saina Oguntola, and also Engineer Hassan Sayidu, as well as the Vice President of Nigerian Society of Engineers here present, the honorable members here present, international representatives, chairman of the organizing committee, fellows here present, and members of this great institution. My name is Engineer Aminu Bodenga Mohammed. I am the National Coordinator of Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project. The project is domiciled with Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Today, let me also commend the efforts of the institution for looking towards this theme. Rural roads is an area that is being neglected. Perhaps I can use, if you permit me, forgotten completely, despite the contribution rural roads brings to the attainment of food security, not only in Nigeria, but globally. I'll try as much as I can. This is a very wide and a very big topic. However, I'll try as much as I can. Being, I'm heading an institution that is equally responsible for development, maintenance, and management of rural roads in the country.
No, sir. Sorry. Just a little. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the exigencies of the office of Madam President, she would have to leave now. Thank you. Okay, can we have a group photograph? Thank you all very much. We equally welcome the Executive Secretary of NSE, Engineer Joshua Egube, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, and also the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Rural Infrastructure, Adamawa State, Engineer Mundi Ibrahim, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are welcome to this event. The lectures will continue immediately. So we now continue to the lectures. Once again, we bring up stage Engineer Mohammed A. Bodinga, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, to continue with the lectures. Thank you.
Okay, let us quickly, sorry for the break, let us quickly look at the outline of the presentation. In this presentation, we are looking at giving some definitions of the terms, which include food security, food insecurity, rural road infrastructure. We'll also look at the importance of rural road infrastructure. As time goes by, we look at issues and challenges, rural roads development management and maintenance in Nigeria. We also want to share our experience in management and the maintenance of rural roads in the country. I will also share with you some of the initiatives we introduced in the development of rural roads. We'll also share some of the achievements made and equally some of the planned activities we have ahead in the implementation of the project. We looked also the way forward and equally make some recommendations as well as conclusions on this very important topic. I hope I have. Okay, now, let us quickly look at the introduction. These are just facts and figures about this country when it comes to rural road and equally food security. The first and foremost, we look at the rural road infrastructure, often overlooked, plays a pivotal role in the global food system. And it is also important to note that over 65 of Nigerian roads are rural. 87 of the rural roads are in poor condition, you can imagine. The rural index is just 25.5%. This is the proportion of rural population living within 2 kilometers of an all-season roads. We also have over 80% of the Nigerian population with predominantly agrarian economics. And most importantly, Nigeria loses about 25% of agricultural produce due to post-harvest losses, including poor transportation, poor rural roads, management, and equally packaging of these commodities. Now let us look at food security. When we are talking of food security, we are actually referring to three fundamental A's, as I call them. One, we are looking at the availability of the food. Do you have the food on your table? Can you access the food? And equally, do you have the purchasing power in terms of buying the food? These are fundamental issues we need to look into. And as long as you are talking of food, you are talking of post-harvest losses. I believe some of you in one way or the other had experience where you see vehicle broke down as a result of bad roads. And some of these people that transport fresh farm produce completely lost their capital in the process. And sometimes we don't even care and remember how food leave these rural communities and come into the major cities and the major market. In Nigeria, precisely, most of the farmers that produce and equally cultivate land are living in the rural areas. And we'll see what effort we are doing as we go by. So the issue of food security is not only peculiar to Nigerian situation, but it's kind of like an international challenge due to a lot of issues that happen, starting from COVID-19 to issues relating to insecurity and what have you. So Nigeria is not exception, and a lot of figures were given by Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, development partners like World Bank, raising concern about the level of food insecurity in this country. And that is why I started by commending the institution for coming up with this very important topic at this very important time. The importance of food security cannot be overemphasized. Immediately this administration came on board, the first thing they did was to declare emergency on food security. The name of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development hitherto was changed to Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, just to emphasize the situations and what we needed to do. Now, I also want to showcase issues relating to rural infrastructure. This is part of what we do. We have intervention where we see communities that were disconnected because of river, most especially in the riverine areas, and all they needed is a particular bridge or a culvert to connect. If I share my experience, we went to a particular village, I cannot remember the name vividly, in Osun State. Because of the river, what they did is that they have a canoe, they put a rope in the front of the canoe and equally another one at the end of the canoe. So when you put your farm produce, somebody at the edge of the canoe will draw the rope and then they will offload. And the other end, they will draw the canoe back. This is the situation we found some of our communities in this country. This is a farm settlement I'm referring to in Osun State when we are implementing RAM 2. We also have drift where necessary that we cannot, because of either non-availability of funds or the traffic counts or the importance of the road, we can construct drift. We equally have some road that we asphalted and so on and so forth. Let us also look at the importance of rural roads infrastructure to food security. Rural roads not only supported food security, but supported the rural people in their entire livelihood. It's only when you provide roads, these people will be able to access hospital, to access market. It's only when you provide honorable chairman of local government or state government will find a way to construct borehole to allow these people to have pipe-borne water. It's only when you have road that the market in that community will start appreciating receiving customers because there is access to that particular community, and so on and so forth. I can spend the entire day talking about the importance of rural roads to the livelihood of people living in the rural areas who are predominantly poor and who actually supply the food today we put on our table. So, and the road we constructed is not only meant for vehicles, motorcycle or tricycle. People with cart equally use this road. Those that use donkey as means of transportation could also benefit from rural roads can provide this country. Situation whereby immediately you construct road, you start seeing land in that particular axis appreciating. And the next time you come, you start seeing building, people are creating buildings along the road corridors with the ability to establish shops and equally start trading activities, and that area in no small time will become a residential area. This is something that we have the records. We have all the facts and figures about when we are talking about the intervention we did in the implementation of the project so far. Let us also share our experience regarding the issues and challenges. So you can see approximately 9 million children are at risk of suffering from acute malnutrition. This year alone, Nigeria has declared that 26.5 people are struggling for food. And I've just read yesterday through channels, I saw a presentation that about 62.5 Nigerians are food insecure in their household. Just yesterday, I saw it along the line. And this is the terrible situation we found ourselves in this country. And you may not even believe is when you decided to visit rural communities and see the kind of life they are living because of this. Some of them were sent out of their farms because of insecurity. They can no longer go to their farms. Those of us that are from the northwestern part of this country can attest to this. They can no longer go to their farms. The food they have has been taken away by bandits and equally these criminals that are attacking this community. Some of them has to migrate and leave their houses because of insecurity. So part of this reason that actually led to this kind of situation we are in has to do with the poor rural infrastructure we have. Under this project, part of what we did was first and foremost to identify all the rural roads in this country using a software we developed called Nigeria Rural Infrastructure Transport Management System, NATIMS. We are able to capture over 200 kilometers of rural roads with their features, the conditions of the roads, markets along the road corridors, hospitals, social amenities equally along these road corridors. But you can only plan when you have available data and when you have accessed the magnitude of the challenges you are having in this country. It's unfortunate, just like I've said earlier, over 87.7% of rural roads in this country are in bad and poor condition. Now, the issues of food insecurity, one of the major ones I always want to highlight is the issue of post-harvest losses. This is an area that actually we look at. When you go to market, when you go to this market where they're selling fresh farm produce. When they cannot sell, be it cashew, mango, vegetables and whatever, at the end of the day, they have to put it to waste because they may not even afford money to transport it back to their houses for the next market day. Post-harvest losses is one of the key challenges we are having. And part of it has to do with the poor road conditions and equally how difficult it is and the terrain for people to access market. We also look at the issue of inflation due to a lot of economic reforms introduced by government. The issue of conflict and banditry, I think, is so pronounced in this country, I don't need to talk much about it. We equally experience rural-urban migration. If you go to Abuja alone, as the federal capital of this great country, you see a lot of these people that run away either due to insecurity or due to poor condition of the areas they are living, and they're having some camps here in Abuja as the federal capital. And other camps are always there in the state. The lack of access to the food chain and the escalating cost of both food and essential non-commodities. So these are part of, just to limit, these are part of the issues. But there are so many of them that contributed to the issue of food insecurity, including government policies directed and channels towards attainment of this food security. Issues and challenges continue. These are the kind of situation our people. I think this picture was captured in Niger State. I was privileged to be there. During rainy season, this road will be cut off completely. There is no way you can pass. And I will share with you as we go by part of what RAM did in order to reduce our transportation costs and the travel time. So part of the issues we are having that inadequate government budgeting, dependence on external funding, competing urban priorities, and equally improper planning and mitigation strategies. A sector that has been neglected is not surprising when you are having this as part of the challenges. Now, rural roads, who is responsible? When you talk of a highway, everybody will give you one single answer: Federal Ministry of Works. When you talk of state roads, everybody will give you one single answer: State Ministry of Works. And who is responsible for rural roads? That's a great challenge in this country. It's not wrong. But I'll be happy if somebody can help me with the answer. Who is in charge of rural roads in this country? Local government by what? By constitution. All right? And are they performing the function? But I will go by, we'll be able to see. So when you talk of rural roads development, maintenance, and management in Nigeria, you now ask yourself, is it the responsibility of federal government? Is it the responsibility of state government? Is it the responsibility of local government? And perhaps for those of you that said local government, remember in every state, we have ministry for local government, some department or agency for local government. We also have department for rural development or ministry for rural development in some of these states. And the question continues to generate a lot of momentum as who is responsible. Is it ministry for local government in the state? Is it ministry for rural development in the state? Is it department or agency? Or is it the local government chairman that we have in the 77 local government areas we have in this country that are responsible for rural roads? So there's an adage. They said a goat that belongs to everybody will die of hunger. If rural roads continue to exist this way, belongs to everybody and belongs to every agency, then definitely rural roads will continue to deteriorate, continue to decay without maintenance. The challenge of infrastructure, I know even in highway and state road, is quite serious. But when you look at this particular sector that has been completely neglected, local government chairman, you ask me, I came from the local government headquarters. In my own local government headquarters, we have about 7 government boreholes. None is functioning. Local government can no longer finance the maintenance of this. And I have never witnessed a situation whereby, in the whole of my experience under this project, where we see local government intervening in opening of rural areas, providing the necessary maintenance, and equally taking full responsibility, and vice versa. Sometimes we have intervention by other donor-funded agencies. Sometimes we have intervention by state government who felt, yeah, this road is important to the economy of the state. We need to construct this road. So this is the challenge we are having in this country when it comes to rural roads. So the question still remains, who is responsible? But not RAM, please. So let me quickly share our journey so far. We started as Rural Access and Mobility Project, and our desire that we are being financed by World Bank under Ramp 1. We piloted the project with Kaduna and Cross River State. And in this house today, we have one of the team members of the then, I think one or two of the team members of the then Rural Access and Mobility Project in Kaduna, who were able to pilot the implementation of this project. The project is a World Bank finance project, and we equally have some development partners that come in to support us, like French Development Agency. We have African Development Bank. We equally have French Development Agency. These are some of the agencies that were able to push for financing to support us in opening of these rural areas. So what happened under Ramp 1 is that we successfully implemented the project in Kaduna and Cross River State. Almost over 900 kilometers of rural road were constructed. We equally were able to construct villages and culverts to connect communities that were completely disconnected or perhaps isolated from the entire country. So this is what we were able to achieve under Ramp 1. As the journey goes by, we see the importance of this very intervention. We expand the project to cover additional 5 states, where we have Adamawa, Enugu, Niger, Osun, and Imo joined lately as part of Ramp 2 state. And we are still maintaining the name Rural Access and Mobility Project. We are able to achieve so much in this state. Over 2,000 kilometers have been constructed between Adamawa, Enugu, Niger, Osun. We'll showcase some of the pictures. And currently, about 320 kilometers are ongoing in Imo State. And we equally introduce a lot of activities like community-based maintenance, where we engage the people living across the road corridors to provide routine maintenance. It's another way of telling them this is your road. It's another way of empowerment, where we provide some citizen. We train them, we pay them some money to provide routine maintenance, like the silting of culverts, the silting of drains, and equally provided an immediate maintenance where required. And we have a checklist to assess the performance of this community-based maintenance group before every payment we did through our state project implementation unit. The office I'm handling is the coordination office at the federal level, while in every state we are participating, we have state project implementation unit, which is a replica of what we have at the federal level. So these state implementation unit are responsible for the fiscal implementation of the project in the state where we are working. We equally saw a lot of expression of interest by governors coming to tell us that we need this project. Perhaps maybe because of the economic situation of the country, they are looking for RAM to come and help in terms of opening of the rural areas. We have state selection criteria. It's not just automatic for every state to come in and join this project. So we did workshops, sensitization workshops, to tell them what RAM is all about and what they need to put in place to be eligible to participate in this project. As I'm talking to you now, we have 20 states that are participating in rural access and agricultural marketing project. We equally still have opened the gates. By next year, we are hoping this project will become a national project where we'll have 36 states and FCT coming in to participate. You'll be surprised when I tell you that we have states like, even yesterday, I think I hosted Commissioner of River State, was in my office, equally expressing interest on behalf of His Excellency to participate in this project. Even the oil-rich company are coming up to look at RAM, how RAM will come and intervene in their respective state. We equally have states like Bayelsa, Edo, that equally express interest to participate in this very important project. So far, we have a lot of innovative activities we introduce in the implementation of the project. As we go into the presentation, we should be able to provide some of these things. So what I have here before you is the project development objective. This is the fundamental focus of the project when it comes to implementation. One, we want to improve the rural access. Secondly, we want to improve agricultural marketing. And then we equally see how we introduce some reforms and equally some financing sources, sustainable financing sources for effective development, maintenance, and management of rural roads in this country, most especially the state we are currently working on. So that's the PDO, that's the project development of this very important project we are working on. The philosophy behind RAM is access plus agricultural marketing. You realize that the name changed from RAM, Rural Access and Mobility, to Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project. In the course of the implementation of the project, we experienced a situation whereby there are a lot of service losses in this market, and we need to improve the condition of this agricultural agricultural market for effective trading of agricultural farm produce. Our focus now is, so far we have carried out so many studies to first identify agricultural market in this country, which we have successfully done. We equally carried out another study, development, management, operation, and of agricultural marketing in this country. The objective is for us to learn who owns this market, who manages this market, who is responsible in this market. These studies will help us to design the kind of intervention we are going to do under this project. We're able to complete that particular study, and today we have identified the market where we are operating, and we prioritize them and selected them, and we are likely going to improve about 65 markets under this project with the current financing we have. And the objective here is that we are going to construct internal roads, we are going to provide lock-up shops, we are going to provide sustainable electricity to this market so that if you cannot sell your farm produce, there is a place you can keep it for the next market day, and then you will be able to sell your farm produce. Instead of you to throw it to garbage, this time around you have a place where you are going to. We are working with projects like SAPZ, that is a project that is also financed by World Bank, IFAD, and other development partners. We are working towards seeing that we are siting some of this market close to processing centers. At the worst case scenario, if you don't want to keep it, there's a processing center for value addition on this product. So we equally make sure that, importantly, we have market management committee. Because irrespective of the intervention you did, if you didn't provide and delegate responsibility, just like what I'm going to advise at the end of this lecture, that we must delegate responsibility for effective development, management, and maintenance of rural roads in this country. Otherwise, we'll continue to dream about food security, where it's going to take a lot of time for all to attain the food security we are looking for if we continue to neglect and abandon our rural roads. So that is access and agricultural marketing. We'll also look into the issue of asset management, which is fundamental. Our experience from Kaduna, Cross River State, and this LAFO state, and equally is the same experience for all World Bank and other donor-funded projects in this country. By the time the development partners exit, that's the end of it. Nobody cares again. Some of you will remember ADPs, how vibrant agricultural development projects were in those days in the state. Today, when you visit those project sites, they look like graveyards. There is nobody and nothing is happening there. When you are talking on farm inputs, ranging from issues relating to sprayers, agrochemicals, herbicides, insecticides, and what have you, that's the hub where you get it. And in those days, I remember our senior colleagues were telling us that you cannot compete a girlfriend with somebody who is working in ADP. You can't, because they are well grounded, they have a lot of money, and you can't compete with them when it comes to looking for a wife. So, and that has become history. Immediately the financing stopped from World Bank, that's the end of ADPs. We don't want this project to be like ADPs and subsequent World Bank projects and donor-funded projects that close immediately the development partners withdraw their financing. So asset management is very fundamental and very key under this project, and in a very sustainable way. Road sector reform, this is something that we are always proud of, how far we have gone when it comes to sector reform. We are able to introduce and make a lot of changes when it comes to development management and maintenance of rural roads in this country. That's the philosophy behind the entire concept of the project. Now, as part of our own initiatives under this project, we are looking at climate resilience rural road, because this is one of the major topics that is actually creating a lot of momentum all over the world, issues of climate change and its effect, not only in attainment of food security and its effect also on our rural infrastructure. Then we equally introduced the issue of road sector reforms. We realized that before we rely heavily on highway manual when we are doing the design of rural roads in this country. This project takes lead, and equally today we are proud to have a low volume roads design manual, low volume roads maintenance manual, and low volume roads technical specification, customized to Nigerian situation, and this is what we are using currently in awarding our contract, in preparing our bidding document, and equally overall the issue of design of rural roads in this country. Then this particular software I told you we introduced, which is Nigeria Rural Transportation Infrastructure Management System, we equally introduced community-based maintenance, and then the issue of support to agro-logistics centers, that is agricultural market in the country. These are some of the initiatives we are able to introduce. When you are talking of infrastructure, you are not only talking about roads, but a lot of issues that come along with infrastructure. Now, the issue of climate resilience roads, we have a situation and scenarios where we have some of our roads washed away by flooding. And some of you are even aware that by the time during the peak period of rainfall around August, September in this country, sometimes this road in Lokoja to Abuja will be cut off because of flooding and excess flooding. We have a situation where we have Niger State that has about 3 or 4 dams. And by the time they opened their spillway, our road actually suffered because of that. We experienced flooding. Most importantly, and some of you are committees to the recent incident that happened in Borno State. So these and so many other issues, make us, and the lesson learned in the implementation of both Ramp 1 and 2 to redesign our project and the concept to focus more on climate resilience roads. And that is what we are promoting now under this project. So now let us look at this very important sector, the issue of sustainability. Like I've told you, every donor-funded project, close, Fadama 1, Fadama 2, Fadama 3, CSDP, health project, anyone you can think of, simply because there is no sustainability mechanism put in place. And like I've said earlier, we introduced reform, which is one of the major difficult things to achieve, but we're able today, with the participating state we have all the 19 participating states place the bills before their respective state House of Assembly. We engage an international consultant that will work closely with him to support our state in the creation or development of reforms bills, that is establishment of Rural Access Road Authority, and equally one difficult tax, which is State Road Fund. Why I say that, Engineer Alassane, our chairman, made mention of the issue of reforms and what they are looking forward to the signing of the road fund. Am I right? I want to let you know that today, RAM was able to place these sustainability bills before State House of Assembly. 19 of the state has placed these bills. What we did, the journey was quite rigorous. We engaged the consultant, we sensitized the state, we equally went and met all the relevant stakeholders in their respective comfort zone to discuss, because it's a state-specific approach is what we did in this sector. And a lot of sensitization workshops were carried out, and today we carried along Ministry of Justice in the state, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, all relevant stakeholders were identified, and we carried them along in this very tedious journey. And the 17th have passed both the SRF and the RARA bills. Today we have about 36 bills being established as RARA and SRF bills. The State Assembly has processed and passed the bills. The governors have assented to these bills. We have 17 states that today we are proud to say we have State Road Fund in this state for maintenance management of rural roads. We equally have sustainable financing mechanism. I'm happy representative of FEMA is here, House Committee on FEMA. We have FEMA everywhere in the state. But the issue is it the priority of state governors? Are they providing the necessary funding mechanism? Is the Federal Road Fund available to provide the necessary financing support for this? So what we did was, okay, we have the Rural Access Road Authority, but are we going to allow this agency to depend solidly on budgetary provision? No, we came up with the idea of State Road Fund. And we're able to convince the state governors to have their buy-in and relevant stakeholders, and we're able to put these bills into law. And today we have 2 states that operationalize RARA, namely Bauchi and Ekiti State. They have appointed the Director Generals for both RARA and equally Director General for State Road Fund. And what we did was that we said, okay, we brought all the stakeholders together. Local government, by constitution, you are responsible for development, management, and maintenance of rural roads. What percentage of your national allocation you are going to give to this fund? In some states, they will say 5%, 3%, 2%, 1%, depending on deduction from this joint account. And we accepted it. First and foremost, we identify all the rural roads, do not forget. We determine the cost of bringing of at least 30%, 50%, 80% of this road to good and fair condition. We showcase all the analysis. We have analyzed the internally generated revenue of the state. We'll ask His Excellency, what percentage of your internally generated revenue can you contribute to this very important fund? Some will say 5%, 10%, 3%, and we take down. At the end of the day, we are able to engage National Union of Road Transport Workers, National Association of Road Transport Owners of Nigeria. We equally extend our hand to all Farmers Association of Nigeria, all the relevant stakeholders you can think of, including private sector, to see what they can do. And to our greatest surprise, in my state, they said they have over 1,500 members, and each member is willing to give 1,000 naira monthly as contribution to this very important fund. And when we guided the state on the establishment of these board members. We didn't leave it completely to government, but we have private sector. We make recommendation of representative of Nigerian Society of Engineers as part of the board members in each of these states. We equally made recommendation for civil societies to be, so that by the time RARA develop their work plan, identify intervention areas, they pass their work plan to the State Road Fund Board for financing. And they look at it, analyze it, and equally approve the funds for them. So we are guaranteed that even after the closure of this project, we'll be able to have this institution working in the state. This is what we did when it's come to RARA and SRRB's place in the state. So two states are still struggling, trying to process. If you look at the map, they are highlighted in red. Sorry for that. It's just to tell you that they are not embracing the reform bills we are talking. But we are working closely with the governors. I think one of the states was able to pass the RARA bills. They are still struggling about the state road fund. And we encourage some of them that, well, this is a very big opportunity. If you can increase the percentage of contribution. Some of them equally said, if State Ministry of Works is awarding civil works contract, a fraction of that contract, 2%, 3%, shall also be paid as contribution to this very important state road fund. So, and the state you see in blue are the states we are participating and that are currently passed the bills into law. While the green state there you see are the states that we are currently pushing forward to complete the operationalization of RADA and SRF in the state. Now, I have talked about the issue of low volume roads manual, and I have shared my experience that before we have to modify the issue of Nigerian highway manual so that we will customize it to rural roads development. As you know, the requirement, the approach, the design, and equally the pavement, as well as the surfacing types are not the same. So we need to have our own that we can say this is a guide for Nigeria and when it comes to low volume roads manual, i.e. category C and D of Nigerian rural roads, Nigerian roads and RADA. So we equally have the technical standard norms for agro-logistics, for market, quality assurance manual, and quality assurance plan. And I also, it's worthy to mention here, we have two of our members of Nigerian Society of Engineers when we are developing this manual that actually supported us. My two brothers, and I think they're even sitting very close to each other, Engineer Andoaka and Engineer Phyllis. These people actually supported us greatly, and they serve as part of reviewers for this very important manual. So this manual is at the tip of their fingernails. So if you need anything more, they are the people then that supported us in reviewing this document. And of course, we go into academia. We bring some professors from different universities of this country in civil engineering equally to support us in the development of this very important manuals. They are representing the Nigerian Society of Engineers then, and Koren. So this is NATIMS. The first map you can see there is highlighting the rural road network in this country, particularly the state we are intervening. There's no time to expand it. You can see also in the interface, you will see that the road condition has been digitalized. We have a cloud server where we are putting on all this information. So I know small time will tell you that the total number of kilometers of rural roads in this country is XYZ, and we'll be able to tell you what percentage are in good and fair condition. We also use this software to develop a maintenance plan and equally financial requirement for the rural roads in this country. We also capture all the hospitals, all the primary schools, all other agencies that are very vital in decision making that will guide our leaders in decision making when it comes to rural road development, financing, and equally management in this country. So the software is so rich. I think when we attended one training, my engineers were able to showcase what the magic this software will do. And this software is also identifying all the culverts, all the bridges along the road corridor, and equally, of course, their conditions, their features for decision making. So this is a very tool we are using for decision making under the project, and it's equally performing the magic. We also use it in prioritizing which roads should we intervene first due to limited resources, and what roads come second, and so on and so forth. So this is part of road network, planning and prioritization, annual and road maintenance program, quarter management, and equally maps. This is part of the initiative, like I told you, we introduced in trying to tell the people that these are your roads, you need to take care of these roads. This is community-based maintenance. I told you we organized them into cooperative groups. We got them registered, we trained them, we provide tricycle, we provide safety equipment, synergies, motorcycles, all different kinds of road maintenance equipment you can think of are being provided. And what we did is that we engage the village heads across the road corridors to nominate people of certain category of age that can equally deliver the service. And we ensure at least out of every 10 members, 3 are women. If you can see the picture, though the pictures are not many, you can see also a lady. I can see about 2 ladies here. So in every group, gender sensitive, we make sure that we have at least 3 ladies as part of the 10 gang that are providing this maintenance. So we supervise them, we train them, we equally showcase and demonstrate that these roads are yours. So even today, there's nobody to fund you, at least you should be able to provide this for your community. And then when it comes to market, what you are seeing here in yellow is a design that was carried out for a particular market, I think in Ogun or Ondo? Ogun? In Ogun State. So this is how we want to transform some of our market. I wish maybe in the presentation we have some of the conditions of the market we have in this country. It's quite terrible. You can see everything spread, put a tarpaulin, and spread whatever you are selling on the barefooted ground, not knowing of the effects of the weather, the effect of sun and what have you to this agricultural produce. So our focus here is to provide the internal roads, provide boreholes, provide toilets, establish market management committee. Things being equal, by the time we are about to finish this project, at the comfort of your office, you can click and say, I need XYZ tons of cassava, and you'll be able to Google it in the website and you'll get it. You will see recommendation of market near you that can provide this quantity you are looking for. The same thing with grains, the same thing with cows, the same thing with tomato. Because in that market management committee, we want to ensure that we take a representative from cattle, where we have a market that has so many combination of food produce being sold. This is representative of a tomato, this is representative of cassava, this is representative of cattle, grain. We make them into market management committee and ask them to select a chairman, and thereafter they can engage somebody with a diploma or a first degree that can be their secretary. I mean, 1 or 2 people, we open a website for them, they can display their goods and what is available in that market. I can see my brother coming up. No, I know today is Friday.
Yeah, yes.
Excellent. All right, thank you. So he said, well done. So I will quickly see what I can do about it. So let me share with you. This is Osun State. This is how we meet this road, and this is what this road look like today in Osun State under Ramp 1. And Ramp 1, 943 kilometers, 150 river crossings, that's small culvert and bridges, and over 2,000 kilometers of rural roads were constructed in those 4 states. This is a bridge. This is how we meet this bridge. one of the most beautiful bridge, this local one. Can you see it? This is what our people did to have access. You can imagine what they went through to have this. And this is how the bridge looked like. It has been completed. I don't have the completed picture. It's in one of our states, this thing. But this is how we created. This is beyond even the scope of the project, but because of the importance of this road, we make sure that we provided this three-span bridge for these people. I will show you what they went through. Just take note of this picture. Tunganjika Shafini Road in Niger State. This is also Mazuka Bolt Colban in Niger State, before and after. This is a callback we provided to make sure that these people connect and equally have access. This is another one in Suleja Abuchi. You can see the situation of the road up there. You can see what we are able to do there. You can see our logo there, RAM. Just similar to what PTDF was doing. You can see it by the left-hand side or right-hand side, depending on where you are sitting. This is Oshun, Obolo. I think it's in Oshun State. This is before and after. This is also Jada in Adamawa State. Vice President is not here. You will have seen what we did in Jada local government area in Adamawa State. Okay, that community that I told you, please. How do I on this slide? Okay, so the point I'm trying to demonstrate here, if you look at upright hand, you see Kontagora. Did you see Kontagora there? Yes. When you follow that road, 52 kilometers, that is 1 hour, 20-minute travel time to Tunganjika. Did you see Tunganjika? Yes. Good. People, these Tunganjika people, if they want to access Kontagora, instead of to go 1 hour, 20 minutes, that is 52 kilometers, they have to come all a long way down. Did you see Mokwa at the top down? They have to come to Mokwa during rainy season, at the peak of rainy season. And when they come to Mokwa, they go up towards New Busa. Look at New Busa there. And when they come to that particular junction, I think there's a game reserve there, they will now turn 107 kilometers to Tunganjika. When we went there, the village district has said, I hope this is not the last time I'm seeing you. So many people came here, and when they leave, we have not seen them again. And that is how we were able to provide that bridge. The time we went there, so here are two things we are able to achieve. Look at the hours, 143 kilometers, plus 103 kilometers, plus another 107 kilometers, just to access Kontagora. And if they are going towards Kebbi State, this is how they are going to go around. But today, that 52-kilometer road, because of that very important bridge, and the other road connecting backward to Anibusa, we were able to do it. And when the bridge fell between, I think, Jeba, Axis, last year or 2 years ago, the whole traffic came back to here. And that road was seriously affected. We have to go back again and start putting on, because the design was not meant for axle load vehicles that are flying that road. And the volume of traffic. You are talking about 50 to 70 kilometer vehicle per day. And today we are having over 100, 200 vehicles per day on this rural road. And that's exactly what happened. We have to ease off the burden to a large extent from Federal Ministry of Works until that bridge or those bridges were fixed together. I can't remember. So look at the travel time. Look at how these people were saved and the cost of transportation, of paying all this to go through. When we are visiting this road during rainy season, we have to also, we go through Niger to Bida, from Bida to Mokwa. From Mokwa, we connect to New Busa. Then from New Busa, we bus out to Tunganjika until that bridge was put into place. This is one of the roads that we have recently completed in Katsina State, I think. Danja, Bazanga, Nahuche Road, we spoke to Bazanga. This is the road we have just recently completed. It was constructed by Modakad and supervised by Kabir and Associate. Way forward. One is to have this institution in place. Secondly, sustainability. Even if you put the institution, if there's no financial sustainability, they cannot sustain. Then extending this initiative to all the states, and equally, integrating collaborative effort in working towards introduction of innovative approach to rural roads in the country. Conclusion, it is pertinent to know that roads are not just about rural transportation, they are also about rural transformation. When you bring road, everything come into play by default. Even if government refuses to provide borehole, one of the people from the community will bring in a ring and start selling pure water. And I think you know what I'm talking about. And he will start selling water in jerrycan, and these people. That is when they will see electricity. That is when they will see patronage of their market. Now, please take this home. Is it possible to attain full security without improved rural roads? Just think about it. I want to rest my case, Chairman. I want to seriously appreciate you for the opportunity and for engaging us in this very important program. I've been signaled that I have just 5 minutes. Sorry, I have to rush the tail end of it just to ensure that I was able to bring about some of these very important issues. Thank you very much. I remain blessed.
Thank you very much, sir. You can still just wait. Take 1 or 2. Okay. Even before we ask for question, a question is already waiting. So we'll take this international question first. Then I'm sure we'll have another one there. But please, if someone has said what you want to say, just let it go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mohammed Bondinga. Am I right? Thank you very much for the presentation and well articulated. I think I was introduced earlier. My name is Engineer Shama Kiteme. I'm the President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I'm a practicing civil engineer. And your presentation was quite interesting, and I thought it's good to weigh in because of some of the issues you're dealing with, we're also dealing with in Kenya. But number one, the issue of low volume seal roads. We introduced that one in Kenya. We went ahead and introduced labor-intensive construction of very many roads, low volume seal roads. We have a standard, a manual for their design. Unfortunately, a few years down the line, all those roads failed. So it would be interesting to understand your experience over here, and especially now that you're dealing with, a lot of very many kilometers for that matter. Of course, I identify with the facts that about 87% of the roads in the rural areas fail terribly. But I also wanted to revisit the institutional framework that you have. And I've seen what you have presented. In Kenya, we have 3 roads authorities. Kenya National Highways Authority, which deals with the trunk road. We have Kenya Urban Roads Authority, which deals with urban roads in urban areas. Then we also have Kenya Rural Roads Authority. That's the institutional framework that we have in place. And I wanted to reflect on what institutional framework you have here. The problem with our situation is that there is always a war between the county governments and the national government, in the sense that the county governments want to run the roads, and so the monies that are supposed to be available for servicing the roads and working on the roads, vis-a-vis the national, these bodies I've talked about, Kena, Kura, and Kera, they are national institutions and all that. So there's a war over there. And I want to understand your experience in terms of that, the resource allocation for that. Of course, we know the whole ulabalu about, fiefdoms. The governor wants to feel powerful and all that. And then the national government does not want to, get the money over there and all that. But that's an interesting thing to hear. And of course, lastly, the entire framework of resources for road infrastructure. We've seen the transformation that roads can do. That simple bridge, what it has done in terms of transforming the lives of those. But we also understand the scarcity of the resources. And in Kenya, the big debate now, and those who followed news, we are going PPP, but they are laden with a lot of corruption. I don't know whether there's corruption here, but
zero corruption.
But us, as the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, we have had to release press statements and asking the value for money for some of these PPP things. Because we have a PPP Act that circumvents Public Procurement Disposal Act, which has an element of local content.
Thank you very much.
Do you want
All
me
right,
to respond or we take more questions?
No, I think you can just do a quick response and then just finalize.
Okay.
Because of the mocks.
Okay. So thank you very much. I think what he said, I can manage it into two very critical points. One, he has shared their experience when it comes to this kind of institutional strengthening approach as the reform activities, and equally the likely challenges that are going to come up in the process. So we have limited experience actually to share when it comes to issues regarding scarcity of resources, resource allocations and what have you. We are just starting now, and we have just two states that are pioneering and leading this very important. But what we did was that we identify and all the likely issues and provide some mitigation measures as we go with the literature and knowing the country we are in. So we're able to identify those, and we're equally to provide some mitigation measures regarding issues relating to corruption, resource allocation. And that is why if you look at the composition of the board members, we have civil society there, we have local government chairman. The chairman of Algon is a member, and we selected three. In each senatorial district, we will normally have 3 per state. We selected 1 member of the local government to also be part of it. So these are some, and then the representative of Nigerian Society of Engineers, the state chapter there should also constitute part of it. And our own is not actually a federal approach, it's state-based approach. So we are not having so much pressure at the federal level here. But what the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security is doing is trying to support this, our project office with sustainable financing, so that we continue to provide the necessary technical support guidance to the state. So I have noted some of these issues you have said, and I promise you will take them into consideration as we progress in the implementation of the project. And I think we review a lot of literature when it comes to Kenya and Nepal when we are working on this low volume ROS manual and equally this sector reform. These are states that actually has done it before. Nepal, I can remember vividly, the concept of community-based maintenance was brought from Kenya. We refine it to fit our particular environment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can we please put our hands together for the National Coordinator Ramp, our keynote speaker, Engineer Mohammed A. Bodinga, FNSC. Ladies and gentlemen, may I recognize at this event the Registrar Engineering Council of Ghana, Engineer Isaac Bedu. You are welcome. That's him. You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a little tweak to our program of events. At this time, we'll quickly take a goodwill message from our special guest and then continue quickly into the fellowship conferment. May I invite upstage for his goodwill message, Engineer, Olamijunwolo Ayodeji Alao Akala, the Chairman House Committee on Youth in Parliament, who is representing Engineer Remi Oseni, the Chairman House Committee on FEMA, for a goodwill message. Let's put our hands together for him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, engineers, fellow engineers, the chairman of the National Institute. I greet you, and I stand on existing protocol. I have a message here for the chairman of FEMA, which I'm going to read, but before I read it, I have my own 2-3 minutes to say my own opinion on the topic and everything. I always have a different angle to many things when I'm always talking, because I feel like when we continue with the norm, we'll always have the same results in everything we do. So far, so good. Since our time of independence till now, we've been talking about roads network, doing road networks, doing road networks, doing road networks. Until now, it's still the same result. Bad roads everywhere. I come from Ogbomoso North, South Referral constituency. And for the better part of 2 years, the rural road passing through my community was not good. They just flagged it off on Monday. And that is a major road. If you know Ogbomoso very well, you know that Ogbomoso is situated in a place where almost 98% of all the farm produces passes through Ogbomoso. From the north and the south, that's the connection. So somebody coming from the north with tomato, or coming with onions, or coming with potato, and that road stops them for like 3 days, 4 days. Of course, it will affect the price. It will affect the food availability. It will affect a lot of things. So I kept thinking and kept wondering to ourselves, why is it just only roads we keep thinking about all the time? The major thing is security, and anything we do in life is engineers. Whatever, even this pen I'm holding was designed by an engineer. Anything you do is by an engineer. There's nothing you want to touch or do that is not by an engineer, except maybe water and air. Every other thing is either done by an engineer. There's nothing here that is not done by an engineer, either by design or by this thing. So I was thinking, why can't we start a discourse of how we can connect the south and the north together by rail instead of road all the time? This road is coming, there's no how you can fix a road. If you have 1,000 trailers pass through that road, it will destroy. What's maintaining a road that same road? How often do you maintain a road? How thick can you make that road? When you know that this road, like the Ogbomoso road where I come from, I'll keep talking about my area as a case study. But that's why I have all information about. A minimum of 2,500 trucks pass through that road every day. Minimum. So how thick do you want to make that road that it will not get spoiled again? How thick? How thick? And they carry different things. They carry metals, they carry farm produce, they carry petroleum products and everything. And they keep killing people on that road because you will see accidents with those things. So why are we not discussing a different food security? I'm not discussing how we can connect the north and the south. It's railways. I was watching a program the other day, The Men Who Built America, and you understand that America was not just built by the government, it was built by individuals like us. We can build these nations by ourselves together. Joining North and South by railway will make a lot of things easy for us, both in commuting human beings, in commuting services, in commuting goods. It will be easier for us in that way if we can change our discourse. Not always road, because the road, this is the same discourse we've had for so many years. Like I tell people, in blessed memory of my father, before he died, I always told him that you people are the problem of Nigeria. Anybody 65 years old and upward are the problem of this nation. Because you people enjoyed Nigeria. You people are leaving us with this crap to be chasing up and down now. Then people from 55 to 45, you people, I have a little problem with you because you people kept watching. You did not do anything when the people from 65 upward were spoiling the nation. You did not do anything because then we are now left to now be struggling with that. Okay, what is left for our nation? What can we do? What can we do now? And you know, Eliza, it's the same discourse from then to now. It's the same discourse. We need to just change the discourse and say, okay, let us move the way the world is moving now. Real is like, let's just discuss it. I'm not saying it's the solution, but let's discuss it. Let's see how we can do something else apart from the road that we're doing. Thank you so much. That is my own 5-minute discussion. Then now let me just take who I'm representing is speech. Thank you for entertaining me. Opening remarks by Honorable Engineer Remi Oseni at the 2024 National Engineering Conference Annual General Meeting and the 4th Fellowship Conferment of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers at NSC Secretariat, Abuja. It is with great honor and privilege that I am here today at the 2024 National Engineering Conference Annual General Meeting and the 4th Fellow Conference organized by the Nigerian Institute of Highway and Transportation Engineers. This gathering is not merely an event, but a critical junction in our journey towards sustainable development and food security in Nigeria. As you all know, the role of Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers cannot be overstated. Your institution play a pivotal role fostering sustainable solution, advocating for innovative practices, and training the next generation of engineers to tackle these challenges head on, as it serves as a crucial catalyst in engineering our nation's progress. I commend the organizers for assembling this pivotal forum and for selecting such a timely and impactful theme for this year, Rural Road Infrastructure, Catalyst, Panacea, and Cornerstone of Food Security. Is both crucial and timely amidst Nigeria's evolving economic landscape. Amidst economic challenges experienced by Nigerians at the moment, such as soaring fuel prices, volatile dollar rate, and escalated cost of living. Yet, rural road infrastructure indeed hold the key to unlocking food security in Nigeria. By improving the roads, we can stimulate economic growth amidst increasing fuel prices, fluctuating dollar rates, and the high cost of living. Rural road infrastructure emerges as a beacon for food security, offering connectivity and that supports economic revitalization and boosts local agrarian economies. As a nation, today we stand at a crossroad, confronted by the deteriorating state of roads across Nigeria, generally speaking. The lack of maintenance by federal, state, and local governments have left Nigerian roads in a deplorable condition, especially rural roads. The rural road network lying predominantly within state and local government jurisdictions, a linchpin of national growth, remains undeveloped, are riddled with potholes, and are often impassable during rainy seasons, thereby impeding not only the movement of goods and services, but also affecting access to essential resources for rural communities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the consequences of neglecting rural road maintenance by the federal, state, and local governments are severe, both particularly under local jurisdictions in their agricultural productivity by restricting access to both essential farming, inputs, and markets, escalating costs due to delayed in transportation, spoilage, and limited market access, exacerbates poverty and food scarcity, education, and healthcare. Without intervention, this will continue to exacerbate food insecurity at a time when global economic pressure are already challenging Nigerians. It may interest us to know that the World Bank estimates that the poor road conditions contribute to a 30% post-harvest loss within our agricultural sector. The impact on food prices, rural development, and ultimately on the livelihoods of millions of Nigerians cannot be overstated. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, 60% of rural roads are in poor conditions, impacting over 30 million rural inhabitants and obstructing access to essential food supply chains. This neglect impacts our food security severely, stalling the transportation of agricultural produce and causing post-harvest losses estimated at 975 billion naira annually. If we may ask ourselves these pertinent questions, why are Nigerian rural roads in deplorable conditions? The answer is obvious. The excessive oversight control by some state governors incapacitated local governance, and also primarily diverting their resources into non-essential services. At the local government level, paucity of funds, lack of competent engineers, especially highway and transport engineers, pervasive corruption, and the high rates of abandoned projects all contribute to the current predicament. However, all hope is not lost. The historic Supreme Court judgment in July 24 has granted financial, operational, and legislative autonomy to local government. This pivotal decision under President Bola Ahmed signifies a future where these roads will receive the attention they urgently needed. With improved maintenance and funding, these prospects for food security are indeed brighter. I am that optimistic that pivotal decisions will lead to substantial improvements, ensuring that we reach our goal for sustainable food security. The way out and call to action. Distinguished audience, the urgency to improve our highways and rural roads cannot be overstated and must be prioritized by all these three tiers of government. Declaring a state of emergency on Nigerian roads is imperative. Conversely, investing in rural road infrastructure would serve as a powerful catalyst for food security. Improved roads, lower cost of transportation, reduce food prices, and enhance food accessibility. Addressing Nigerian road dilemmas, especially rural roads, necessitates a multifaceted approach that includes policy formulation, financial investment, technological integration, and community involvement. Engineers are pivotal to society evolution, bearing the responsibility of conceiving safe, efficient, and innovative solutions to current infrastructural challenges. Our role extends beyond the drawing board and construction sites. It encompasses active participation in policy development, advocacy for national projects, and mentorship for upcoming engineers. I urge the Nigerian Institute of Highways and Transport Engineers to persistently championing the cause of robust rural infrastructure. With our combined expertise, vigilance, and innovation, let us drive tangible change that will endure for generations. As an apostle of better roads for all Nigerians, I'm fervently committed to fixing our national and rural roads. I am fully committed to bettering the living conditions of ordinary Nigerians through advocacy, collaboration, and strategic empowerment of young engineers. As I close this remark, it's important to remind you, as a practicing engineer for over 30 years and through my business, Step Development Limited, and as you may be aware, by the grace of God, I am a member of House of Representatives and the committee chairman of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. Within 6 months National Assembly, I took bold steps to ensure proper promotion of indigenous solutions to the maintenance of bad impassable roads in Nigeria by doing the following, among others. As the House Committee Chairman of Federal Road, or FEMA, working with my colleagues on my assumption of the Chairman of Committee in FEMA, we have developed a 14-point legislative agenda to rebirth a new FEMA that is efficient, effective, and value-driven. The 14-point legislative agenda has provided a roadmap for repositioning, rebirthing, and re-engineering FEMA for greater effectiveness and efficiency. Raised motions and concerns over the 12 billion unremitted fuel tax to FEMA from the past decade, appealing to the House to initiate investigations to ensure funds allocated to roads maintenance are duly remitted, aims to recover funds that are vital for road maintenance efforts, thereby promoting fiscal accountability. 6 weeks ago, I raised a motion and resolution duly passed that the House of Representatives should mandate the Ministry of Works to allocate 20% of the Ministry of Works 2025 budget to FEMA for road maintenance. My motion highlighted the urgent need for financial resources directed towards improving deplorable road conditions. I advocated for, encouraged, and working closely with FEMA management team to prioritize the engagement of Nigerian engineers and contractors in road maintenance projects, which will invariably create employment opportunities and enhance the expertise of our local professionals. As I round up, to the Nigerian Institute of Highway and Transport Engineers, I stand with your institution in its mission to fix Nigerian roads. Our future lies in the hands of engineers like you. I pledge to champion the cause of fixing our nation's road. To those of our professional colleagues being honored with the Institute's prestigious fellowship, I heartily congratulate you and charge you to always be at the vanguard of advocating, contributing your expertise, experience, and resources towards building a legacy road infrastructures that will catalyze progress, prosperity, and food security in Nigeria as enshrined in President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Finally, be rest assured that the 10th National Assembly and the House Committee on FEMA are committed to partnering with you and the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in advancing our nation's road infrastructure. Together, we can achieve the transformative change needed for the prosperity of all Nigerians. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all happy deliberation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member of the House and Chairman of Youth in Parliament. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite the Chairman of the Fellowship Committee to come up stage, and we'll quickly go through the fellowship event. May I invite Engineer George O. Unsonwu, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers and Fellow Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers. Let's put our hands together for him as he comes up and take over the affairs of the fellowship conferment ceremony.
Good afternoon. The chairman, the NIHG, permit me to stand on the existing protocol due to time factor. Good afternoon and welcome to this auspicious occasion of the fellowship conferment by Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. Yeah, because yeah. You mean my speech? Okay. Conferment of fellowship to deserving highway and transportation engineers is a significant milestone in their engineering practice. It also represents the culmination of years of dedication, hard work, and great contribution to the growth of highway and transportation engineering. The fellowship committee, after reviewing the honoraries' achievement and contribution, is convinced that each of them has demonstrated a commitment to excellence and understanding of highway and transportation engineering. Furthermore, conferment of fellowship is not only based on individuals' past achievement, but also a recognition of the honorees' potential future contributions in the field of highway and transportation engineering for the positive impact on the Nigerian society. I therefore congratulate each of these honorees and also thank their families, professional mentors, and colleagues for their support. I would like to use this opportunity to express the committee's appreciation to the chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers for the opportunity given to members to serve the institution. I also thank every member of the fellowship committee for their time and sacrifice. Finally, I especially appreciate and thank all invited dignitaries, including members of press and the Secretariat of NITE. Thank you very much. But we need to. Okay. So all the prospective fellows should please file out so that they can come in a procession. All the new fellows, please. Quickly. What of their guys?
Please, all prospective conferees to please go outside and then you have your procession in. You are to hold your hats in your hand. Thank you. All right, the procession now begins. The procession now begins for the conferees to be led by the chairman committee of the fellowship of Nigerian Institution of Highway Engineers, Engineer George Unsonwu, fellow Nigerian Site of Engineers. The procession now. May I please request the chairman of the fellowship committee to please come up stage and present the conferees to the national chairman, who will then go ahead to confer fellowship on the conferees. I, engineer, confer on you, they call their name, the fellowship of the Nigerian Institution of Highway Engineers.
You have to introduce them to me. You just call their name.
Okay, let me see their names.
No, don't need to call the name.
Okay. The chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, I hereby present 46 number of new fellows of the institution for their formal conferment with their certificates and other criteria. Thank you.
I, Engineer Saidu Hassan, the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, by the powers conferred on me by the Council, the Fellowship Board, I hereby confirm all of you that are presented before me here. I want all of you to call your name individually. Just call your name. Just call your name. I hereby confer on you. Call your name. The Fellowship of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. So you are hereby today a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, and I want you to carry this highest honor of the division that is being given to you today with all honor and integrity of our institution and our great society, the Nigerian Society of Highway and Transportation Engineers. Congratulations to you all. Yeah, all of you can now go back to your seat. We'll call you individually to be collecting your fellowship something. Okay, you can just you just stand here and you can come up, all of you.
No, just stay where they are. Just a minute. The national president, sir. Please, I think you should stay where you are. The conference should please stay where you are. The moment you hear your name, you come up here. I have a handshake with the president. You will be decorated, and then you can proceed and collect. You will have a handshake with the chairman, who is actually representing the president now, because the president was the one that declared this open. You have a handshake, and you can go ahead from that. You call the name.
Engineer NM Samuel Kofi, please come up quickly.
Engineer NM Samuel Kofi,
followed by Engineer with the chairman.
Engineer Daiko, Ida Daiko. Engineer Chidi Matthew Obiudu.
Chidi Obiudu, please.
Chidi Obiudu. When you are called, please come through this way and you go back that way. Thank you. Chidi. Go and meet the prior chairman. Engineer Abdulafiz Lanre Yusuf. Engineer Abdulafiz Lanre Yusuf. Engineer Professor Oladapo Abiola Samson. Engineer Professor Oladapo Abiola Samson. Engineer Dr. Odunfa Simeon Olutayo. Engineer Dr. Odunfa Simeon Olutayo. Engineer Babatunde Wasiu Azan. Engineer Babatunde Wasiu Azan. Engineer Steve Tayo Oluwadown. Engineer Steve Tayo Oluwadown. Engineer Amaka Antonia. She's not here. Engineer Enang Andrew Egbe. As soon as you have your handshake with the national chairman, you collect your lapel from them here.
You go to the table and collect your lapel.
Okay. Engineer Ashonibare Oluwaseyi Peter. Is he here? Engineer Yusuf Olatunji Ahmed. Ahmed is not here. He's the one. Engineer Amakom Augustine Ifeanyi Chukwu. Engineer Dr. Soni Emeka Ali. Engineer Dr. Soni Emeka Ali. Engineer Ihimekpe Oame Michael. He's not here. Dr. Gideon Cephas Akpan. Engineer Thank God Ode. Engineer Amidu Usman. Engineer Ulagu Loveday Okechukwu. Engineer Ulagu Loveday Okechukwu is not around.
He has gone.
Engineer Okoronkwo Ndukaku. Engineer Adeniyi Simon Adeniran. Engineer Agboade Adewumi Oluwayomi. Not here. Engineer Dr. Desmond Ewa. Engineer Abdullahi Adab Saliu. Abdullahi Adab Salihu. Engineer Esther Oluwakemi Oladeji. Engineer Nwoti Jude Mary Ogugo. Okay. He's not here. He's there. Okay. Engineer Professor Godwin Akeke Engineer Professor Godwin Ade Akeke is not here. Engineer Amin Ibrahim Musali. Engineer Amin Ibrahim Musali. Yep. Engineer Salmon Olaide Ismail. Salmon Olaide Ismail. He's coming. Ojo was there now. Ojo Temitope Ayodeji. He was there now. Okay. Engineer Usman Tijani. Usman Tijani. Engineer Mohammed Ibrahim. Okay. Engineer Emmanuel Okoli. Engineer Oluyemi Justice Akpata. Engineer Kamaldeen Olalekan Bello. Engineer Ibrahim Adeshino Tiamiyu. Engineer Olukotun Adebisi. Engineer Uno Ogban Uno. Engineer Upong Imo Akpan. Engineer Akaniyene Akpan Henry. Akpan Henry. Engineer Abubakar Zubairu. Engineer Abubakar Zubairu. Engineer Akinsanya Julius Adesoji. Akinsanya Julius Adesoji. Engineer Isokariari Obelema. Engineer Bots Bidi Musa. Engineer Oyinlola Mohammed Omolola. Engineer Osere Gift. Osere Gift. Engineer Yahaya Baba Ali. Yahaya Baba Ali. Engineer Ibrahim Buga. Which of them is going to give response?
Let me invite the person.
Which one?
The Professor Oladapo Samson Abiola. Is he here? He's here. Let me invite him. Thank you very much and congratulations. Please let us note that once we close the conference, as we recess outside, we shall have the group photograph with the president and all the conferees. May I now invite for a response on behalf of the conferees at this fourth fellowship conferment, Engineer Professor Oladapo Samson Abiola, Fellow Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. Let's put our hands together for him as he comes to, in 1 minute, respond on your behalf and tell us thank you. Congratulations, bro.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my fellow awardees, we thank the institution and the chairman for the conferment, and we appreciate you, and we say thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. That's a very quick one. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite for the vote of thanks the Deputy Chairman of the Deputy National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highways and Transportation Engineers, Engineer Francis Oriaki, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, Fellow Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. Let's put our hands together for our Deputy National Chairman.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I do not know what to say, but I think I'm very, very, very delighted and excited to see all the conferees today. I wish you the best, and we're very happy that we're able to do this conferment as planned, and to God be the glory. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Our time is fast spent. We shall be closing the event now, but please remember to return. So we shall continue with the annual general meeting, very, very important, at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. So we can... Okay, at 2:30 p.m. So you can go have your prayers and come back while we have a little break. And at 2:30 p.m., the AGM commences. Can we please be upstanding now? We shall take the closing prayer and then the national anthem. When we close, please, we will go and take the group photograph, then come back for the tea break. Those of us who are going to mosque, go and pray while the rest of us relax. And at 2:30 AGM. Thank you. Tea break after the group photograph. Thank you. Let us be upstanding as we recite together the third stanza of the national anthem as our closing prayer, and then the national anthem, and we'll go for the group photograph. Together we pray. O God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. The national anthem. Thank you very much, Federal Road Safety Corporation Band. May we now proceed for the group photograph just outside this building. All conferees, you may come back later to pick your lapel, but let us take the group photograph, and then you come back to take tea break, and we resume AGM at 2:30 p.m. Thank you all very much. And to our online participants, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Please, you can have your tea break as well and join us at 2:30. Thank you.